Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about the fastest way to manifest. It can be the most effortless, and for me, it's the most fun and rewarding. And it didn't always start that way, and that is assuming the desired state. Now, there was a time in my life, which is thankfully very, very long time ago now, where I was so miserable and so uncomfortable in life that assuming the desired state was very uncomfortable because I was so far out of alignment with where I wanted to be. I had no idea which end was up. I literally felt like I was in a dark tunnel, and I didn't even know if I was in a tunnel because it was so dark and I didn't see a light at the end. But one day I decided, like, I'm not gonna live like this anymore. I'm gonna commit myself to metaphorically walking in one direction and seeing if there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't even, if I do see that light, I still won't know how long it'll take me to get out, if I'll get out, but at least, like that was what I mentally committed myself to in assuming a desired state. And this is before I was really studying any of, mindset, neuroscience, changing your reality, manifestation, spirituality. I was like a total baby to everything. And I just had to put faith, what little faith I had at the time, in myself, that I was, and I did specifically feel that I was connected to some sort of higher power. While I was raised religious, I was definitely identifying as lightly spiritual at the time, maybe a little bit more than lightly. It's been so long, it's a little bit difficult to remember, but that really helped, because what I have noticed is that faith is a huge component. And a few years ago, the word faith to me was associated with my religious upbringing, and that can cause discomfort and even rejection. So I would like to just say that whatever your relationship is to the word faith is for you. And for me, it was I had to free it up from all of that and just put it as like unconditional loving trust, and belief in miracles or something greater or change, or just that I don't know everything and there's some force beyond myself, maybe that's a part of myself, that can bring forth great change. And I'm just kind of along for the ride. But yeah, redefining words that have become so key to my practice and my success was crucial, because I was about to go on a little rant about how I believe that in some ways there is a conditioning to keep us away from the true power of certain words and certain, I don't know what you call it, like spiritual or etheric states of being. And faith has become a very important one for me. And I just mean it in the true definition of the word, that perseverance was not, for me, perseverance is not like a show of effort. It's faith in myself. I'm persevering because I believe in myself, or I believe in the universe, both God, whatever, the infinite power, however you like to identify with. Faith is about that trust in that system, because for me it's related. Myself, my higher self, the universe, God, the infinite intelligence, it's all kind of this big related thing for me. So putting my faith in that has been why I persevere and why I persist, and how I've become a more dedicated person, because it's been difficult for me to commit to things that I don't fully understand, and the fact that I have committed fully to myself and changing my life and experimenting with what that looks like is a big deal for me personally, and it could be a really profound, beautiful thing for you too. But it really helped me get unstuck in life, to just put this blind faith that you don't have to have the answers. Sometimes people will say, well, how do I even begin to manifest from where I'm at to where I want to be? Sometimes that gap does feel too great and you don't know how to get there. you're like, oh, I'm supposed to assume the state, the desired state. And that desired state is something that you can't even really get in touch with. It feels like it's behind like glass. Like you don't even know. You can see it, but you can't feel it. And that feeling part is important. And it's okay that you don't have that yet, because you have kind of what I like to call the universal carrot on a stick that is leading you in the direction that you need to be going in. And for me, what I have done and what I suggest is you just set the intention that you want to go there. Set the intention that I don't know how to feel the way that I want to feel, but I set the intention for life to bring me the lessons or whatever it is, the development, the inspiration that I need to get there. And it'll just start unfolding kind of quickly. So careful what you wish for. I know my friends will be like, you know what? I really wish this personal development for myself. And they'll have a really uncomfortable moment, days later. And they're like, oh my God, I really don't like this. I'm having to like actually practice, handling things in a new way and feeling my feelings in a new way. And I'm like, yeah, you do. I mean, you don't. You can put the lesson off. It's totally up to you. It's your life. But you asked for something and it's been given to you. And of course, if you're not ready or you just don't want to right then, you don't have to. But for those of you who are maybe struggling with assuming the desired state because it is something that you just can't conceive or you can't get in touch with for whatever reason, I do suggest just setting the intention of getting there. And what's going to come to you, and I want to talk on this for a little bit, is like inspired visions. And this is different from visualization, according to Florence Scovel Shinn. I've been reading her book a lot, but I wanted to quote some of it. I don't have it with me. But Florence talks about how visions and visualizing are two very different things. And visualizing is man forcing his will upon reality, and that's okay. You can manifest very specific things, but it's going to fall under laws of karma, and it might have repercussions that you don't favor. It doesn't always have to, but I do find myself following Florence's teachings now, that I ask for whatever is in my highest good. I don't want to have the answers for myself anymore. I want to have a general idea of what it is that I want to experience, and I want to leave that open for the universe to bring in the best version of whatever that is. Job, partner, life. I guess life is all of it. Friends, I meant to say it's like where you're living. Apartment, home, whatever. A new car, a new pet, stuff like that. I like to leave that open to the universe now, bringing me, I like being surprised because I trust it. I have faith in it. And I think that's a big thing to note, is that I was obsessed with manifesting very specific things because I did not have faith. I did not believe in what possibilities of good were there for me. And so I was very obsessed with manifesting specific people or things when I felt like there was no way I could get any better than whatever that thing was. And it was never that great. It was never that great. So I'm happy that I have worked through that belief system. And that's not always the case with everyone, but that was what I have observed within myself and my experiences. So Florence says, got a little sidetracked, that visualizing and visions are different. So if you set the intention of wanting a new partner or wanting a new house or a new job, what you do is you basically ask the universe for that thing, but you thank the universe. You're not like pleading for it, specifically is what she says. You're not begging for it. You're thanking the universe that the perfect house, the perfect job, the perfect friend is already created for you and it has been released to you. And thank you so much that it comes to me in a perfect way under grace. I really like that she uses the phrase in a perfect way under grace, because she says that like eliminates karma. So it's coming to you in a way that will be best suited for you in the long run. Whereas she tells examples of people who enforce their specific desires on, no, it can't just be any house, it has to be this exact house. And then there were consequences for that action. I think like one of them was this woman insisted she wanted this person's house and it couldn't be any other house, even if that house was equivalent or better for her. It had to be this specific house, and the person that she knew that lived in that house ended up passing away, and that's how she got the house. And so she wasn't super happy about having it anymore because of how things came to pass. So Florence says, if you ask and you kind of feel into that through saying your affirmation or your prayer to the universe, that you will feel it. And I know not everybody can visualize, so however this comes to you, whether it's, you know, writing it or saying it, speaking it, or, you know, just having the words come to you, however it comes to you, visions of what it feels like to have that thing, whatever you need to align with, to be aligned with that thing, will come to you, whether it's daydreams or like something literally impressed upon your heart and your mind, I believe is the language that she uses, versus us asserting our ideas of what it should be in a visualization. So you can visualize, but you want to take the vision, the imprint that has been impressed upon you through asking, through giving thanks for this thing. And I highly recommend her books. If you'd like me to do a greater video on, you know, her books, I'll definitely remember to bring it with me, and then I can read from it in my own house. I've been reading it at work and getting my coworkers into it, but I highly recommend her books. You can get the trilogy, you know, on the internet, and they're really great. They're like easy reads, but I've definitely found myself sitting with just one page for days. But yeah, assuming the desired state is the fastest way that I have been manifesting. But again, it took a lot of faith for me to stop trying to enact my will upon things and to just let go a little bit more. That's how I ended up with this apartment that I love. That's how I ended up with a job that I love. That's a story for another time, but basically I got my job while waiting for the job that I thought that I really wanted. And I was just gonna take this job and see, you know, how it went kind of thing, and then accept this offer from this company that I really wanted to work for down the road. And down the road happened, and I let go of thinking that it needed to happen a certain way, and I said, hey Alex, why don't you stop and kind of smell the roses? Why don't you look at what opportunities, what you could create with what you already have? Instead of, you know I had this idea of I was gonna do boom, 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 and it was gonna look like this, and all these things are all lined up. And it was like every time I'd get closer, I would get a little bit further away. And so I said, let me just look at what I've currently got working for me, because it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, the grass isn't always greener. Let's take a look. And when I sat down and I looked at what was afforded to me through the job that I had and have, I ended up creating something way more exciting for myself. It was a little intimidating because it was more of an unknown. But it was like I was exactly where I needed to be the whole time. But I was like staring out the window, you know, looking for this other thing that I thought was coming. And if I had fixated on that other thing, I feel like everything would have gone up in flames. Well, maybe not so much, but I'd be miserable resenting a job that I love truly, because I would, you know, committed myself to thinking that I wasn't where I was supposed to be. But you're always where you're supposed to be. Just ask yourself why you are supposed to be where you are. Well, how did you get there? You know, those are the questions that you can ask. But anyway, I guess that is the story. But so much has changed in my life in just 1 year. And I have already shifted my energetic state and been getting in touch with the next things I'm manifesting for myself. And I can't wait to share those with you, because I feel like I already have them. Because I was about to say, so I don't even need to wait for them, but I didn't even say that, because why would I wait for something that I already have? And that's a feeling I never quite understood. You know, it was like always this thing that was just out of reach. And now I truly understand it. When you really do the inner work and you really do actually become, because it's one thing to just get in touch with the state that you desire to be in. It's another thing to work to make that your like constant state. Getting in touch is not the only thing. Sometimes you have to actually follow through, taking action in your life to become that version of you that holds that state. Sometimes it's a lot simpler. All you have to do is get in touch with that energy, and it just kind of aligns very quickly. Other times there are more things that are needed in your life to get yourself to shift over there. If you've ever watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's one of my favorite movies. I think of it like how they jump from dimension to dimension just without the paper cuts and the weird stuff. You know, it's more like having a better skincare routine, or, you know, getting to bed on time, or being more conscious of your own health and your well-being than like chewing 5 things of bubble gum and, you know, never mind. If you've seen the movie, you understand what I mean. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I know I was kind of rambling about a few different things, but that's what felt right today. So let me know what you liked about this video. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about, because I will be talking about more things. If you want to hear specific, you know, things about Florence Scovel Shinn or anything, let me know. I love to hear what's going on with you in the comments. I know I took a break for a while, but I'm really excited to be back in a new way and hear how you guys have been doing. Or, you know, if you're new to this channel, then hear how you are doing and, you know, maybe what brought you here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.